At the beginning of the movie, we see a man named Frank getting up from his bed and going to the kitchen to get a drink of water. But then some professional killers enter his house and chase him till the kitchen. But there they discover that Frank has suddenly disappeared. Now before he could do anything, Frank came from behind him and killed him in a moment. After this he takes out the bullets from their guns and then leaves them to heat on the pan. In fact, Frank knew that some more killers were waiting for them outside the house. So he made a plan to save himself. In the next scene, we see him inside an underground room in the house, where he was busy breaking the floor. Then we come to know that a lot of money, guns, and some passports are kept under that floor. Then Frank quickly packs them all into a bag. On the other hand, the bullet which was kept on the pan suddenly gets heated and starts firing here and there. Due to which the killers standing outside also feel that their companions are in danger. Now they take out their machine guns and start firing indiscriminately at Frank's house. Within a short time, Frank's house is completely destroyed. Then when the killers step inside the house, Frank cleverly kills them one by one. After which he runs away from home with his car. In the next scene we see a girl named Sarah who works in a government office. When she returns home, she meets Frank, whom she is terrified of. Then he tells Sarah that I am the same Frank you always talk to on the phone. Sarah gets a little confused after hearing this. The story now goes into flashback where we learn that Frank is a retired black OBS agent, who has completed many dangerous missions for the CIA. After retirement, Frank started living his life like a normal person. But one day when he called the government office regarding his pension, he spoke to Sarah, who impressed him a lot. After talking for a few days, both of them became good friends, and meanwhile Frank started liking Sarah. On the other hand, Sarah had also started liking him and Frank knew this very well. Now the story comes to the present. Frank explains to Sarah that some people want to kill me and I know very well that they will definitely target you too because I have been in contact with you for the last few months. If you want your life to be completely safe then come with me quietly. Now even after hearing all this, Sarah was not ready to leave from there. So Frank forcibly captures him and takes him with him. In the next scene, we see a CIA agent named William who is currently present in the house of a man who is on the CIA's hit list. After eliminating every single clue in the house, William kills the man. Then after completing his work he goes to his supervisor Cynthia. Cynthia gives him a new mission in which he has to kill a retired agent who turns out to be none other than Frank. Now after seeing all this, William gets a little surprised because he had to kill a retired agent. Then Cynthia asks him, "Will you be able to complete this work?" William replies, "Ma'am, don't worry. I will handle everything." In the next scene, we see a man named Joe who once worked for the CIA. But when he came to know that he was suffering from last-stage cancer, he decided to leave everything and live in an old age home so that he could live his remaining life comfortably. Then after some time Frank reaches the old age home to meet Joe, where we learn that Joe is Frank's senior. Both of them have a lot of fun for some time. But then Frank tells Joe that some professional killers are after my life. So I want you to help me in finding out their information. And after saying this he hands Joe an envelope, inside which were the fingers of all the killers whom Frank had killed at his home. After understanding the whole matter, Joe quickly gets down to work. On the other hand, we see William. He was investigating Frank. He learns that Frank had been calling the government office for the past few months and talking to a girl named Sarah, and that ever since Frank disappeared, there has been no trace of Sarah. So William immediately orders his team to search for Sarah. In the next scene, we see Joe again, who comes to Frank and tells him that he has found out about all those killers. His gang had murdered a reporter named Stephanie a few months ago who worked for Network Time. Then after listening to all this, Frank says that we have to find out as quickly as possible why these people are after me. Then we see Sarah tied to a bed in a hotel room because Frank was sure that if he left Sarah alone she would run straight to the police. Now Sarah tries to free herself with all her strength, and after some time both her ropes get opened. After which she tells the whole story to the police, but one of those police officers recognizes Sarah because William had informed about her at every place. Now that policeman starts taking Sarah with him. But then Frank arrives there just in time and kills the policeman and then takes Sarah with him in the police car. On the other hand, William also came to know about this. So he wastes no time and starts chasing Frank. After going some distance, Frank comes out of his car in great style and starts firing indiscriminately at William's car. Due to which William has to stop his car to save himself even though he doesn't want to. Then, to get rid of William, Frank informs the police that a man in a black suit is firing bullets like crazy on the street. I'll tell you his car number. Now arrest him as quickly as possible. Now as soon as William reaches Frank's car, many policemen surround him from all sides. Then, seeing the situation there, William quietly goes on his way without creating any ruckus. In the next scene, we see Joe. While he was sitting in his room, a man came there and pointed a gun at him. After seeing this, one understands that his end is near. On the other hand, Frank takes Sarah with him and sets out towards New York City. Then Sarah asks him, why are we going there? Frank says that the people who are after my life had also killed a reporter named Stephanie, who worked for the New York Times, just a few months ago. If we want to solve this whole matter, we have to go and meet his family. Now after hearing all this, Sarah agrees to go with him. In the next scene, we see the two of them talking to Stephanie's mother. She tells Sarah that the police did nothing in my daughter's case. He told me that it was all an accident in which the thieves accidentally took my daughter's life. But the surprising thing was that no goods were stolen from his house. Then after saying this, she gives a card to Frank and says that Stephanie had sent this card to me before she died. Then when Frank looks at that card, there were some numbers written on it. Now he asks Stephanie's mother, in which university does your daughter study? After getting the address, Sarah and Frank reach the university library. And then with the help of the numbers written on the card, they find a book in which a list was hidden. After this, when Sarah collects information about the people on that list, she finds out that most of the people on the list have been killed. But Frank is very surprised to know that his name was also written in that list along with Joe's. Now that he knows this, Frank quickly calls Joe. But the people at the old age home tell him that he is no longer in this world. Frank becomes very disappointed after hearing this. In the next scene, we see William going to the CIA records office to retrieve Frank's old files to find out more about him. After reading those files, William understands that Frank was a very dangerous agent who could go to any extent to complete his mission. On the other hand, we again see Frank and Sarah who were going somewhere in a boat. Then Sarah asks him, where are you taking me this time? Frank replies that we are both going to my old friend Marvin because he is the only one who can help us right now. Then after some time they reach Marvin's hideout, where Frank explains to Sarah that you should not do anything wrong because Marvin is a little mentally unstable. Then as soon as both of them get down from the boat, Marvin attacks them from behind. But Frank explains to him very calmly that both of us have come here not to kill you but to talk about something. Hearing this, Marvin trusts him. After which he takes both of them to his secret hideout. Then Frank tells him that I need your help. I have a list where most of the people in it have died. Can you give me any information about them? Now hearing this, Marvin goes to his record room and starts investigating. Then Sarah asks Frank why Marvin behaves like a crazy person. Then Frank tells him that the government had conducted an experiment on Marvin for 11 years in which he was given doses of very dangerous medicines. Because of this, his brain got disturbed and now he always feels that the government is trying to catch him. While the two are talking, Marvin brings out some papers from his room and tells Frank that everyone on the list has a connection to the 1981 Guatemala mission. Maybe you also remember that both of us also went on this mission. Actually, after completing that mission, all the people of a village near Guatemala were killed. Then after listening to all this, Sarah says, do you think someone is killing all those people who were involved in this mission? Then Marvin replies yes and says you are absolutely right, but there is still one man alive from the list whose name is Gabriel. He was the pilot of our plane during the mission. Now after getting all this information, Frank takes both of them to Alabama Airport because Gabriel was going to arrive there. Then as they leave the airport, Marvin realizes that a woman is following them. So he immediately takes her aside and points a gun at her and then asks her, who do you work for? Then Frank takes control of the situation and tells Marvin that he might have misunderstood something. There is nothing in this woman's bag. So you let it go. After listening to Frank, Marvin leaves the woman. After which all three of them come and meet Gabriel. Then he tells them the truth and says that during the Guatemala mission our job was only to take one man out of the village present there. But no one should know about whatever that man did there. Therefore all the people of the village were killed. While they were talking, Marvin's eyes fell on a helicopter, whom he had seen some time ago also. He then tells Frank that this helicopter was following us before. Then as Gabriel approaches the office window, a bullet suddenly hits him directly in the chest, killing him on the spot. Now due to the attack on themselves, all three of them start running away from there. But then we come to know that this attack was from the CIA, who start firing indiscriminately at these three. Now seeing the situation, Frank takes out a very dangerous gun from Marvin's bag and then retaliates against the CIA people. Then, going a little further, he encounters the same woman who was following him at the airport. Now Marvin gets very angry and takes out his gun and aims perfectly, due to which the woman's missile explodes mid-air and then she too gets killed due to the fire. After this these people immediately run away from there. On the way, Frank explains to Marvin that we must reach the CIA records room at any cost because that is where we will get all the information about the Guatemala mission. I have a plan with the help of which we will complete this work very easily. And after saying this, Frank goes straight to the Russian embassy and meets a man named Ivan. Actually, Ivan earlier worked for the Russian intelligence agency FSB. But now he is retired and manages the Russian embassy. Once upon a time, both of them used to be good friends of each other. But during a mission, Frank killed Ivan's cousin. After which distance came between them. Now Frank makes a revelation here and tells Ivan that I did not kill your cousin. At present he works inside a general store. But now its weight has become equal to that of a 500 kilograms rhinoceros. Hearing all this, Ivan starts laughing loudly and asks Frank, what is the purpose of coming to me? Then Frank tells him that I have to enter the CIA building. That's why I need your help. After understanding the whole matter, Ivan gives Frank a fake ID through which he and Sarah enter the CIA building and reach the records room. But the employee working there immediately recognizes Frank and then gives him all the files of the Guatemala mission and tells him that you should be a little careful because William is trying his best to kill you. Now after hearing this, Frank immediately reaches William's office and beats him very badly. Then, after breaking all William's pride, Frank comes out of the room and then explodes the CIA building with a chemical, due to which the fire brigade immediately reaches there. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Frank escapes the building with Sarah in a fire brigade worker's uniform. Then when he reaches his van, he finds out that Joe is alive. After this Frank asks him how all this happened. Then Joe replies that when the killer came into my room, I was already sitting ready. I shot him dead with my gun and then spread the false news of my death throughout the city so that our enemies would think that I was really dead. Now on his way, Frank discovers that he has been shot during the fight. So they all reach the house of a woman named Victoria who earlier worked for the MI6 agency. Frank asks him for help with his treatment because he couldn't go to the hospital. Then after understanding the whole matter, Victoria removes the bullet from his body and then everyone together starts investigating the file of Guatemala mission. Then they come to know about a man named Alexander who deals in defense and armory. But his name was not included in the list of Guatemala mission. Frank and Marvin, along with Joe, head to Alexander's hideout to find out the truth. But the security there was very high. Now to escape from them, Joe came disguised as a gang lord so that he could meet Alexander on the pretext of a gun deal. After going inside the house, these people start talking to each other. On the other hand, we see Victoria who was ready with her sniper so that she could provide backup to her team. Sarah was also present there with him. Then during the conversation, Victoria tells Sarah that you know very well. Frank likes you very much. So no matter what happens, never betray him. Sarah becomes happy after hearing this because she also liked Frank. Then Victoria tells that I also liked an agent. But MI6 found out about it. Then he told me if you are loyal to MI6 then kill that agent. After this, without thinking anything, I shot 3 bullets in the chest of that agent and I regret this very much. In the next scene, we again see Frank and his team who have captured Alexander. He then asks him to tell him the whole truth about the Guatemala mission. But Alexander says that the man you went on the Guatemala mission to save is none other than Robert, the current vice president of our country. At that time he was just a CIA agent. But now he is contesting the election for the post of president. Robert had destroyed the entire village while leaving Guatemala, and to hide this fact, he is killing all the agents who had gone on that mission so that he does not face any problem during the elections. Now, while these people were talking among themselves, suddenly William along with his entire team surrounded the house from all sides. After which he calls Frank and says that now you have no way left. So you surrender yourself quietly. But Frank replies that the vice president is behind everything that is happening to hide his war crimes. But William doesn't believe this. He tells Frank, I promise you. If you surrender yourself quietly, I will definitely give you a chance to present your case in the court. Now after hearing all this, Frank gets ready to come out of the house. When he comes out, suddenly an unknown man shoots him with his sniper, and seeing this William starts running towards him screaming. But upon coming across the body, he realizes it wasn't Frank but Joe. Joe did this so that the rest of his team could take advantage of the opportunity and escape from home, and anyway, he was going to die soon from cancer. So Frank had to agree with him. On the other hand, we see Sarah and Victoria. While they were running away from there, Sarah's foot slips due to the snow and she falls straight down. Where the CIA arrests him. But then at the last moment Ivan also reaches there and takes the remaining people in his car and takes them to a safe place. At this time Frank was very worried because Sarah was in the custody of the CIA. Then he says no matter what happens we have to save Sarah. But Ivan replies that you don't worry. We will definitely save your lover. After this we see both of them talking inside a room. Where we learn that Ivan already knows Victoria because they both loved each other before. Ivan is the same agent whom Victoria shot 3 times in the chest. But he tells Frank, I know Victoria still likes me. Then, after some time, Frank calls William. But the CIA starts tracing that call. They find out that Frank is currently at William's house. Then Frank tells him that if anything happens to Sarah, I will take away your family from you. Now listen carefully to what I am going to tell you. In fact, the vice president is misusing the CIA and getting everyone killed. So now I am going after him because it is very important to stop him. Then after saying this he disconnects the phone. William becomes very scared after hearing all this. So he immediately reaches his home where his family was completely safe. After this, William finds the file of Guatemala mission kept on the table at home, in which the whole truth was written. In the next scene, we see Frank and his team who have reached Chicago after doing all their planning because Vice President Robert was going to attend an event there today. Victoria then quickly arrives at the event venue. Now his name was also included in the guest list. That's why no one suspects him. Then Marvin comes to her dressed as a waiter and gives her a bottle of perfume. Now Victoria had to somehow deliver that bottle to Ivan. Then Ivan sprays that perfume all over the hall and then tells everyone that some gas is leaking here. Hearing this, the security team immediately starts taking Robert away from there to some safe place. But then, midway, Marvin and Victoria start firing indiscriminately at them. Due to which those people have to stay there. When they try to take Robert away in the car, Ivan presses a button and blasts the car. Then the security team starts taking Robert out of the building through another route. Meanwhile, William also reaches Victoria through the back door. But after reaching there he comes to know that the machine gun is running on automatic mode. In the next scene, we again see the security team escorting Robert very discreetly. Then Victoria starts firing at them again, and this time the security team also retaliates against Victoria and she gets hit by a bullet. Then Victoria tells Marvin to go ahead as per the plan. I will stop here. Now slowly his breathing was slowing down. But then Ivan comes there and picks her up in his lap, and then both of them go out of the building together. That's when we see Marvin, who was very angry. Then he also attaches a time bomb to his body and starts running towards Robert. Seeing him, those people also start running to save their lives. Just then a car stops near Robert and they all quickly get inside it. But this was his biggest mistake, because inside the car was none other than Frank. He knocks both the security men unconscious and takes Robert with him. Then the next morning Robert calls William and says that now the vice president is with me. Therefore, it is in your best interest that you quietly hand over Sarah to me without showing any cleverness. And after saying this he tells William an address. In the next scene, we see Frank and Robert standing in a garage. Then William also arrives there. But the most surprising thing was that Alexander and CIA supervisor Cynthia were also present there. Both of them had brought Sarah with them. Actually, the real mastermind behind whatever was happening here was Alexander. He was the one who ordered the killing of all the agents of the Guatemala mission. Actually, when Robert decided to kill all the people of the village, the responsibility of handling that task was given to Alexander, who did this work very cleanly. But when he learns that Robert is running for the post of president, he starts blackmailing him so that he can misuse his power and also increase his gun deals. Now Alexander knew very well that if any agent revealed the truth about the Guatemala mission, Robert would not be able to become president. So he got all the agents killed. Now after shooting Robert, Alexander tells William to handcuff Frank and William does so. But he had quietly placed the handcuff key in Frank's hand. After which Alexander orders him to kill Frank. But instead of doing so, William shoots Cynthia. And then the rest of Alexander's companions also start killing him one by one. After which Frank also kills Alexander. Now Frank's friends Marvin and Victoria were helping him in killing all of them. Now after knowing the whole truth, William tells Frank that you all should leave from here immediately. I will take care of everything. Then Frank thanks him and leaves with his team. Now everyone was very happy while going on the way. Then Ivan says that I need your help. One of my nuclear programs has been stolen and I want you guys to help me get it back. Hearing this, everyone laughs and answers yes, and with this the movie ends. Friends, if you liked this movie, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I will meet you with more such interesting movies. Till then, bye bye.